ever wondered why certain persons don't reach to their full potential? Oh yes, they began very well, they started running that race, but over time they fell off the road. Wonder no more, wonder no more. It is just because those people, they are not running over. You can't keep giving for too long. If you are not running over, you would give out your content. I'd like to bring to you the Bible verse that talks about giving. Luke chapter 6 verse 38, it says clearly, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You see, when you want to travel, the aircraft which you're going to use, the airline, they will require a particular kilogram from you, kg. And you have to put your bags in order. And some of us, when we want to travel, we have to fold our clothes in a proper way to fit in a particular bag. You press down, you keep loading, you keep pressing down. Listen, pressing down builds a place for capacity. Oh, when you press down, you see, there is something about God. He presses you down. In your place of pressing down is a place where He presses you down to build stature. In the place of pressing down, He presses you down, oh, to give you more room for more. The Bible let me know that each is given according to his capacity. We are Africans, and I'm going to use Nigeria for an example. Our ways of getting water, we use the dynamics of called the borehole. And when you pump water in the borehole, you realize that you have a GP tank or whatever tank you have. And how do you know that your tank is full? It's very simple. It starts to pour, it starts to pour. At the physical, it doesn't look like anything is going on. You only gonna hear sounds. Now after a while, after pouring for so long, you realize it starts to overflow. And when it's overflowing, it starts to trickle first. You see the water trickle down, trickle down, trickle down. Then afterwards it starts to pour, then it begins to flow. It begins to flow, it begins to flow out into the drainage. That's how the Lord built you to run over. Some of you, you are in your place of weighing, your place of pressing down, but you are being shaken together. Some of you are in a place of shaking together and you are running over. Brothers, don't run over so early. Don't be so in a hurry to run over. God is still making you. You are still being formed. Don't be in a hurry. The end result of your life will be that of testimony. Those who will make national impacts, they can be formed very early. But those who are going to make international, global impacts, God will take time to press you down. And when He presses you down and you begin to be shaken over. And when you shake over, you start to run over. When you boil rice, when you put grain in the pot, inside the warm water, you see it stays in there. It stays in there, it's pressed down. And then the fire comes, the water begins to boil. You begin to see that rice begin to grow. The grain begin to swell up. And when you put a lid, a cover of the pot, you see it begins to vibrate and begin to vibrate. Oftentimes, if you don't change the water, oh, you see that water come up and push over the lid and it begins to overflow. Some of you, I'm talking to you right now, God is about to make you overflow. You got to stay in that place of waiting. Oh, you got to stay. And I know you're saying I've been pressed down too long. But I hear God tell me to tell you today, I'm making something unusual out of you. Kabaya. To be unusual, you have to be pressed down in an unusual way. I don't know who this word is for, but I got good news for you. God is about to shake you and run you over and then run over. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together. When He shakes you together is when He announces you from the north, south, east, and west. And after that, you begin to run over. I've got good news for you. God will run you over. Jesus is still the same. Yesterday, today, and forever. It doesn't matter what you go through. I got good news for you. We are about to run over. I'm running over. Hey, I'm running over. I'm running over. I'm running over. Can we sing together now? I'm running over. I'm running over. I got peace of mind in me. I'm running over. I think our prayer therefore should be, Lord, while I'm being pressed down and building this stature and capacity, shake me together. When he shakes you together, he gives you the gifts. Sometimes when you have the gift of speaking in tongues, and while you're waiting upon the Lord, he gives you gift of healing. When he shakes you together, it's when he adds the additional, oh my God, and you begin to have the gift of utterance. He adds that in and asks the Lord, Lord, why you build me? Why I'm pressed down? Lord, shake me together, and Lord, let me run over. That should be the cry of our heart, Lord, that I may run over, Lord, that I may not remain the same, that I may run over. Use me to the best and to the utmost capacity. You cannot touch the world when you have that of a national. Lord, shake me together. Run me over out of my bosom. Some of you, God will begin to release the anointing to run over nations, anointing for global impact, anointing to touch the world. Can you pray this prayer with me? Oh, I'm running over. I'm running over. Pray with me in the Holy Ghost. I'm running over. I rejoice out of me. I'm running over. I'm running over. Oh, I'm running over. 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 When God runs you over, you no longer remain the same again. When your time comes and you start to run over, and you start to run over, you're no longer the same. Those that knew you before will say, oh, I tell you something, it takes result to cancel insult. And when you begin to run over, results begin to show wherever you go. Every community oh, I'm running over. This is a nugget of faith to whoever it may concern, that you begin to run over. Today, as God presses you down and shakes you together, you run over today. I'm running over. I'm running over. I'm running over. I'm running over. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. Oh, Shabia Kamania. Every common Niki Niki Akaya Naniako. Sikamria.